Good afternoon. I'm hopping on here today because I have started to talk about. Let me turn my phone down because that's going to happen. Well, I'm hopping on here today because I want to share um, about the governor's plan to eliminate property taxes and how this is financially, it's not possible. So, most of you all know that I'm Michelle Williams. I am running for state representative in House District 127. And I am a teacher currently fighting Houston ISD on a termination of employment due to well, they were trying to force me to break special education laws as well as some other laws surrounding emerging bilingual students, or, a lot of people, we know them as English language learners. So, let me turn this on. So, what has happened is the state of Texas, well, the governor has come, well, he rode into Houston and said that he is going to eliminate property taxes. But I'm here to educate the public on public education funding the easy way. I teach math. For those of you all who are new to my platform, it I have been teaching for over 26 years. And what people do not know is the state of Texas is not funding 100% of its school districts. That's the first and foremost part. They're not funding it. So, take for example, Houston ISD. Houston ISD is the largest school district in the state of Texas. And it operates off of a $2.6 billion budget, which is over budget because the current appointed superintendent has been operating in a budget deficit since the state took over the state of Texas. This Houston ISD, not the state of Texas, the Houston ISD. So school taxes, our local revenue, that's the money that comes in from property taxes under school taxes. NHISD is $2 billion. So I'm going to try to keep it slow because I know some take it slow because some people's eyes gloss over when we talk about math. So, um, hey, Ozzy. So, we HISD takes in $2 billion. Instruction, and we're talking about teachers' salaries. Teachers' salaries take up 1.2 billion of that, and we're talking about salary and benefits. So 1.2 billion dollars are teachers' salaries and benefits in Houston ISD, and we're not going to talk about the other um employees because the 1.2 billion is more than what the state gives HISD. HISD gets $400 million in state revenue. And see, that's not what the governor is telling you. He's telling you that, oh, we can fund, take away school taxes. No, they can't. They can't take them away because HISD has to be funded at the budget deficit that the current superintendent has us in. So that's Houston ISD. So $2.6 billion right there. Then you have Dallas ISD, which, if I'm not mistaken, and that's my dog in the background, has a budget of 1.4 billion, and it may be more than that. I know that their payroll is 1.4 billion, and they take in for property taxes at 1.4 billion. So even right there, you're talking about almost $5 billion for two school districts. And I haven't even looked at Cyfair ISD. Um, Cyfair is, if I'm not mistaken, memory serves me correctly, is the third largest school district in the state of Texas. The state of Texas cannot afford to eliminate school taxes because they're not even funding the two largest school districts. The property taxes and local taxes from the school districts are funding most of the salaries for teachers. And this is for my teachers. If you continuously vote against your profession, you're going to be voting against your salary, because the minimum salary for the state of Texas, which the state legislatures will not increase the minimum salary for teachers, which would increase uh, what school districts would have to pay. They gave teachers that little $5,000, which y'all don't understand. If teachers only work 10 months and people think that, oh, teachers get the summers off. Yes, we do, because we don't get paid during the summers. Our 10-month salaries are stretched over 12 months. So whatever teachers do during June and July, they're not getting paid for it unless they're working summer school. That's extra. So teachers are not 12-month employees. We are 10-month employees. And the governor is selling the public um, empty promise, because there's not any way that the school districts can alleviate or eliminate property taxes in the form of school taxes, especially not for Dallas ISD, Houston ISD, Cyfair ISD, because it's in the billions that they need to run these school districts. And if teachers want to have competitive salaries, there was a teacher in one of the groups that said this minimum salary doesn't look anything like my school. Absolutely. It does not look like your school district salary, because if these school districts, especially the larger ones, depended on the state of Texas to pay teachers' salaries, teachers would be living beneath the poverty line. And teachers in Texas don't get paid well anyway compared to the national average. There's no way that the state of Texas can pick up the tab on these uh, school taxes. There's not a revenue source. But what I can tell you, they could probably fund all of the school districts in the state of Texas if they would stop giving away our school taxes to the tune of $2.3 billion every 2 years to corporations in the form of tax abatements. You know, corporations say all the time, oh, we're interested, we care about public schools and public education. You can't care about public education and then not pay your portion for school taxes. You're taking away from the funding that public schools need. And we should not be allowing corporations to come into Texas and do business in Texas and not pay any school taxes for 10 years. They should not be exempt from paying school taxes, because if they believe in corporate responsibility and supporting public schools, then they need to pay the school taxes, their fair share, because residents don't get to come and pay, not come to the local county tax assessor and say, well, you know, we want a tax abatement. No, all residents that own property must pay school taxes. And these corporations are basically not paying these taxes, and the state is allowing it. Harris County is allowing it. And what people don't understand, these records are not even open to public information requests. You cannot get information from Harris County on how much money they are giving, how much of the taxes that they're giving away in tax abatements. You can't get it. I've already studied this, and I have studied it for a couple of years now, and there's no record of it. So that's one of the issues that we have, well, a bigger issue that we have in public education. So if you're an educator, an informed voter, please do not believe what the governor is saying. You are going to be sadly mistaken if you fall into this trap of believing that he's going to eliminate property taxes. He's not. And if you are a parent of a public school student, please do understand that if this does take place, your school district as you know it is going to be destroyed. Your student, your child, their teachers, none of the amenities. If you're out in a suburban school district like Cy-Fair ISD, you won't have a school district because they're going to eliminate a revenue stream that cannot be replaced. They just gave away $5 billion in for private schools. There's no way. There's no rainbow with a pot of gold at the end of it for school. There's no infinite amount of money or funding for schools. So I just wanted to come on here and make sure that you all are well aware of this empty promise that the governor is making to the state of Texas. It's not going to happen. And I urge you all to definitely start talking to your school board members about what does your local taxes help to pay for in your school districts. You don't have to take it from me. I want you all to start this conversation today about local school taxes and what they actually pay for. Because if you don't have this conversation, your circle of influence are going to vote for someone who is going to rip the carpet from underneath all of the public school systems in Texas. Is going to essentially destroy those the school system. So if you are interested in supporting my campaign, you can visit michelleforstaterep.com and you can become a volunteer, or you can donate to my campaign if you are not in my district, or you can volunteer if you're not in my district. But if you know people out in the Spring, Humble, Atascocita, Huffman area that are Democrats or Republicans that are looking for something different for our public schools, definitely send them to my Facebook page. You can send them to my Instagram. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on X, Twitter, but I post over there, but I don't really engage on there. But you definitely can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky. And I'm building out my YouTube channel. I'm going to start a podcast because what I do understand is that we need more information on public policy and how public schools work. So thank you all. If you're watching this live, if you have any questions and you're watching a replay, definitely leave a comment in the comment section. And I look forward to chatting with you all. Bye-bye.